Lindsey Graham says that he's bothered by the fact that you won't admit that we're in a religious war. There are others who say that the White House takes pains to avoid using the term Islamic terrorist. So my question to you is, are we in a war with radical Islam?
Oh, let me guess what his answer is going to be. Welcome to Give Me Five. And I played this for you, even though it's a little old. It aired Sunday, and it was actually recorded about a week ago with Fareed Zakaria and Barack Obama. Because, you know, here we are in the wake of yet another barbaric act from ISIS. And yesterday the president shrugged, said, hey, another example. Yeah, you know, okay. So I want you to hear all this. Here's the answer.
The way to understand this is there is an element growing out of Muslim communities in certain parts of the world that have perverted the religion, have embraced a nihilistic, violent, almost medieval interpretation of Islam. And they're doing damage in a lot of countries around the world. But it is absolutely true that I reject a notion that somehow that creates a religious war, because the overwhelming majority of Muslims reject that interpretation of Islam. They don't even recognize it as being Islam.
All right. When there's 1.5 billion or 0.6 Muslims, and a small percentage of them do believe that that's Islam, you got a big problem. A big problem. And that's the first time he actually admitted that it is an interpretation of Islam. But it doesn't matter to him. Here's more.
For us to be successful in fighting this scourge, it's very important for us to align ourselves with the 99.9% of Muslims who are looking for the same thing we're looking for: order, peace, prosperity. And so, you know, I don't quibble with labels. I think we all recognize that this is a particular problem that has roots in Muslim communities, and that the Middle East and South Asia are sort of ground zero for us needing to win back hearts and minds, particularly when it comes to young people.
Yeah, you're going to win back hearts and minds. I know. It's only the poor Muslims without jobs. They're the ones. Like Osama bin Laden. He was very poor, wasn't he? Or these bomb makers and doctors and physicists that work for Al-Qaeda and the terrorist groups. They're poor. Give me a break. Now, again, it's very, very important when he says 99.9% of Muslims, you know, don't agree with that. How does he know that? 99.99%? Baloney. Baloney. And here's more baloney.
I think I'm pretty mindful of the terrible costs of terrorism around the world. What I do insist on is that we maintain a proper perspective, and that we do not provide a victory to these terrorist networks by overinflating their importance and suggesting in some fashion that they are an existential threat to the United States or the world order.
Of course they're a threat to the United States and the world order. Of course they are. Any idiot knows that. But you're afraid to call it what it is, and you're afraid to do what's necessary. Watch.
They can do harm, but we have the capacity to control how we respond in ways that do not undercut what's the essence of who we are. That means that we don't torture, for example, and thereby undermine our values and credibility around the world. It means that we don't approach this with a strategy of sending out occupying armies and playing whack-a-mole wherever a terrorist group appears, because that drains our economic strength and it puts enormous burdens on our military.
Right, we don't want to defeat ISIS by playing whack-a-mole. If he has said that once, he's said that 1,000 times. And you know what? It's disgusting. Shut up with the whack-a-mole, okay? People are dying. They're a threat to us. They've killed people here. They've killed our people there. Do something about it on the Steve Malzberg Show.